All right, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Viewers, this is Muhammad Yasin live with you on my YouTube channel. And today we have arranged very special live session with you. This live session will be about business startup basically. And we will explore the possibilities for the young people who are looking for the better opportunities in Pakistan or outside Pakistan, especially in business and trade, and also to the mid-career people who wanted to shift their career, who wanted to start their own business. And we'll also discuss different business environment in Pakistan and how the things evolved during this pandemic. Also, we'll discuss. And we have a very special guest with us. I am very thankful to him. He especially spared 30, 40 minutes with us tonight. He'll be sparing us the time. Khawaja Masood Akhtar, you already I've already watched on my uh, channel, and he is leading businessman of Pakistan, a CEO of Forward Sports, Sialkot, Pakistan, and basically, let me introduce himself. Um, that by profession he is civil engineer, but he into the business now. And the Forward Sports company started his business in 1990 probably, and since then it never looked back. They won consecutively from 2008 best export trophies in sports category, and his company also won different awards from Adidas. Adidas company, yeah, they are business partner with Forward Sports Pakistan, and we are very proud to have him in our show. Thank you very much, Khawaja Masood Akhtar Sahab. We welcome you in our session, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Khawaja Sahab, are you with us?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Can you hear me?
all right.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Please, yes, I can hear you. And viewers also will be joining us, and I'll ask the viewers if they have any question regarding business startups, um, anything they want to ask regarding business and trade, they are most welcome. And I'll put forward your question to Khwaja Masood Akhtar Saab. So Khwaja Saab, please please share with us a brief journey of yours, starting from 90s and late 80s, how you entered in this business and trade, because you, as already you told us that you are professionally civil engineer. So how the
Yeah.
things evolved?
Actually, after completion my studies, uh, I got a job actually in Pakistan Railway. But my uncle, he was in Sialkot, and uh, he was heading a company named Capital Sports. Sorry, Sublime Sports. And but he asked me to join the company. I never thought that I am going to make footballs and have no experience at all. But being a technical mind, so I think it's a wonderful idea. And I had a very special relations with my uncle, so I cannot refuse him. So just this was the time when I joined, and at that time I was just started like a production manager there, and from there this in late I can say like 81 or something, Sublime split into Capital and Sublime, two companies, and I joined my uncle in Capital Sports. I became a director, production director there. But in 1990, my uncle asked me to become. He said, "You're a grown up now, and you should start your own." Then, so then I started the Forward Sports. In the beginning, it was very small company, and just a few people. Uh, and then from there I started with the product making production of very few balls for some American companies. And 94 or 5, Adidas joined me, So that was also a very big turning point. And then I never look back. Of course, in the journey, you have a bumpy ride sometime. You have some failures, some hiccups. Everything was coming on this journey. But I can say, with the grace of God, I could overcome these things. And now here I am. I mean, as you told to the viewers that I got a trophy for consecutive like 12, 30 years. And for me, the best trophies were when I was uh, having awards from Adidas, because then you are getting recognition from your customer in front of your competitors. And my competitors were, of course, these were the Chinese or Koreans. So uh, that was not easy to do that against these people. You know, these Chinese are very special people in the business, in production, especially. And from there on, even in the last year, I, I mean, sorry, not last year, this year, even because due to pandemic, they could not make a big show. So it was just like a virtual show. And I got a trophy on, we call Speed. So my company was declared the speedy company in making productions. So this was a great honor for us, because especially the Chinese supposed to be very fast in production and deliveries, but I got a trophy even in that category. And on the way, of course, the government of Pakistan recognized my special activities in the social
Okay, thank
sector
you very
also.
much, Khwaja Masood Akhtar sir.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Is okay?
All right, please carry
Yeah.
on, sir.
Yeah. So the Pakistan government has recognized my
Yes, carry
activities,
on, please.
especially in social sector,
Yeah,
and
I can listen you,
they
please.
awarded
Yeah, it's
uh,
okay.
they can they awarded Sitara-i-Imtiaz, and I was the first person in my city got this very special civil award from the government of Pakistan. Uh, and this was we celebrated at that time. I was also the chamber of commerce president, so we celebrated in a very special way that award. And even my colleagues in Sialkot, they were very happy that at least uh, we got this award for for Sialkot also. Thank you.
All right. All right, Khwaja Masood Akhtar, sir, thank you very much for reminding me that. Let me uh, brief to the viewers as well that government of Pakistan awarded him the Civil Award of Pakistan, one of the highest award, Sitara-i-Imtiaz, recently, I think last year, and he has been president of Sialkot Chamber of Commerce as well. So
Yeah.
you were sharing your experience competition with Chinese company. Well, you know, we all
Yes.
know the Chinese companies are very efficient, and
Mm.
we are really proud of you as a Pakistanis that your company emerged in those compete with those international level companies. So please, briefly, if you could touch upon how your company manage this efficiency and how you increase your productivity to such level that you are competing to the Chinese company even. Or if you can please just highlight few things of your company.
Actually, what I took as a challenge, that we know in the beginning it was difficult. Uh, in the beginning, for example, if the order was placed to us, our delivery time was lead time was 90 days, and Chinese were like 75 days. Then we came down to like 60 days. They came down to 60 days. Then it went to 45 days, and we also. Then I went down further like 30 days, and then I offered also 15 days delivery
Oh,
time. This was
oh,
this I could do it because we changed the production system to lean manufacturing system, and also I automate my manufacturing system in a big way. So we used a lot of laser machines, automatic printing machines, special kind of stitching machines. Up till now, no Chinese company has done this even now. So they are still printing by hand, and we are using very special automatic German machines. And we have at the moment 36 laser machines. No Chinese company in my field is using the laser machine. So when you are using this kind of automation and lean manufacturing system in a real way, so this what you achieve. One is the speed, and second is the price. So your price also goes down, so become competitive. So now I'm cheaper than China and faster than China.
oh my God. Uh, Khwaja sir, yeah, let me take this discussion with your point that you have raised that you beaten China, your company even beaten Chinese company in those respects. So
Yeah,
what you have applied in your company, could you share with the other companies of Pakistan as well? You have been president of one of the leading chambers of Pakistan. So, utilizing your own experience in your company, you could, share these experiences to the other companies as well. For example, textile, we are suffering heavy losses there, and even the countries like Bangladesh, they are performing very really well. So, could you please your experience, how you utilize your experience, how you made the research and development in your company with those companies of Pakistan, so that they also utilize and get
yeah.
benefit of your experience.
Yes, actually I forgot
So, have you
to.
done anything in this regard?
Yes, first I just forgot to tell you that one of the biggest reason me to reach this level is R&D also. I had a very big R&D with us, and we have a real researcher sitting in the R&D. And my first job when I go to the factory is to sit in the R&D with my researchers. And all the time we had some uh, special projects on which our researchers are researching. This was the one of the reason. Secondly, you said that how when I was a chamber president, if I shared my experiences with other companies, yes, I did. I even bring top businessmen, showed my factory, and tell them, please, if you want to uh, copy anything, you are most welcome, no problem. Ask if they have any questions, they can do it. So I was very open with the people and telling my stories, my experiences, and some people, of course, start looking on these experiences, but some other people, they just think is too much for us. But some people, of course, they start going doing some automation, and they think this is the way. If you want to compete with the world, you cannot do by hand everything. Handmade is of course very good, but it's very expensive and very slow. So you have to have automation and real automation. And then secondly, I just start hiring engineers, different engineers, different kind of engineers, like mechatronics engineers, like mechanical engineers, chemical engineers, uh, some other kind of engineers, and change the whole
Hmm.
environment in my company. And due to the help of these highly qualified engineers, this was possible to make automation. Otherwise, normal people who have no education, they are hesitant to make the changes.
All right, Faisal, there are questions as well from the viewers, and if
Surely.
you can see on your screen, inspiring accountants ask that Faisal, what out of the box solution is available to government of Pakistan to promote Pakistan export?
Actually, the Pakistan government, the problem is that the bureaucracy in Pakistan is very, very special bureaucracy, I can say. Um, Government is trying to help
Hmm.
and we can say ease the business. But last year I was fighting and fighting with the bureaucrats. It's very, very difficult to change their mind. And the best thing is that you have to ease the business. And if you are there are so many hurdles in the business, especially custom laws are very, very harsh. In the same way, the sale tax. Now the government has done very good job that online you can the sale tax being paid back, but in the
Hmm.
previously it was not good at all. And the best thing, if you we can tell to the government that you have to go as much as possible online, and they should automate everything digitally, so that we don't have to all the time argue with this bureaucratic attitude or bureaucratic people. And this way, the things will become more faster and easy to go. This government is trying to do that, but they have
Uh,
done a good job in sale tax. Yeah.
okay, okay. Okay, Khawaja very rightly pointed out because working in foreign mission, I have also experienced the working with the government officials. Let me be very frank here, very
Mm,
tough, very challenging,
mm,
and they
mm,
work by their own pace, and you
mm,
could not push them because there
yeah.
are a lot of markets which are really untapped. We personally
Mm-hmm.
know the
Yeah.
markets, and there are a lot of potential in the markets. The government, I don't know, they are not paying real attention to the sectors and to the markets, global markets where the untapped potential is there.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, Latin American markets are immensely they have huge
Mm-hmm.
potential for Pakistani products. But the thing
Yes.
is that the focus is not there. Focus is what we can say is missing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have another question from our honorable member. Uh, okay,
What
if you
was
want to
your
say something.
strategy? Yes, please. What I could not read it.
Okay,
It's
this
very,
is a
very
question.
small.
What was your strategy to compete your competitors with? What
Actually, my
was
strategy.
your strategy to compete with your competitors?
Yeah, yeah, I could understand. My strategy is very, very simple. I was moving in my own direction, and normally uh, I have a very straight direction to move in. For example, to increase the speed, how could I increase my speed? Means the production period to reduce, and also how I can cut down my prices. That was my style, and I was not looking to my competitors, but I was going my own way, and I could see if I am becoming faster and cheaper, everybody is looking towards me. So that was and one by one, actually, I start competing my competitors. And the word, this is all you have. If you have very good R&D, because in my competition, I think I have the best R&D with me. So if you have research and development, you are bringing all the time new articles, new way of making balls or making bags or something else. And then if you can do it in a very fast way, and also with very good prices. So you can beat everything. It's no problem.
So the crux is in your answer is research and development.
Yeah, this is
Very
the
good.
like a
So we have another
backbone. Yeah.
question. Okay. So yes, Sharik Wakar is asking that okay, 10 million jobs creation became a challenge for this government as they had promised the nation earlier. What you would suggest to government and entrepreneur as well as to create new opportunities? So basically, he is asking about creation of new jobs as the government have promised about 10 million jobs. So, what could you
Ac-
suggest in this regard to the government of
Actually,
Pakistan?
the biggest I mean, the area which can where you create a job is of course private sector. And if you have to really want to create jobs, you have to help the business community. And how to help the business community? Just ease of business is the best way. You have to remove the hurdles. For example, if you want to go for a new connection from the Wapada, or I mean from the electric power companies, it takes years to get it. There are so many hurdles to do it. So if you do the ease of business and also make the funds available, I mean from the bank side, that will be the best thing. If they and the god I mean then the local people, I mean the Pakistani entrepreneurs, will start investing in manufacturing sector instead of going to the buying the lands or buying the houses. I mean uh, that kind of. So the problem is at the moment the people are not investing into the manufacturing sector because it's very difficult to get anything done there. Uh, and even there are so many, if you are doing it, there are so many government agencies after you. And if you are just buying and selling lands or the houses or whatever, nobody is after you. It's very, very easy. So you have to make doing business easy and remove the hurdles. And so that
All right,
and private people can really go for the manufacturing and for the export.
all right. People talk a lot about and these government, the financial manager, the stakeholders. They always talk about giving incentives to the private sectors, and private sector will ultimately create the jobs. But we
Yes.
see since we born, we haven't seen the efforts in this regard. Oh, okay, we'll move ahead, and there's another question. You know that although I'm into more of a marketing side and I'm into commercial section in one of the foreign embassy, but we have affiliation with the professional accounting bodies of Pakistan, and we have many
Hmm.
members, honorable members working there in the respective corporate sector in different corporate sector of Pakistan. So one of the question our viewer asked about the cost accountants, how much
Hmm.
effective you find them for the business. So basically,
Very effective.
if you can
Yeah,
read
yeah.
out his question,
I can read
what?
it. Because
Okay,
counter how much very effective, very effective.
cost.
You have to
Is
have cost. I mean, this we call cost accountant. This is very effective, and I think everybody should have these people with them, because when this people, which actually these accountants, they are real professionals, and they count each and everything, and they can give you a very good prices, and also they can give you the tell you the areas where we are weak and where we have to work somewhere. So I have a full section which is actually giving me the costing of the of any product. I'm not doing it myself. That is very important.
All right, that's good. That's good. That's a form of corporate culture in your organization. And here's another question. I have many questions, but I'll take the viewers' question first. So, Tipu Sultan is again asking, Sir, what was your hiring policy? Higher education or more experience or anyone? So he's basically asking about the hiring policy. Is anything special about your hiring policy, or uh,
Actually,
if you
what I am
want to say something about your hiring
actually,
policy?
yeah. Actually, my industry, as I told you before, we came from doing everything by hand, and we don't have at that time any engineer with us. So when I go
Hmm.
to the going into the uh, manufacturing processes, which are just like a lean manufacturing system or automation. So I was looking at technical people, highly educated technical people. I mean, BSc engineers or engineers from different walks. So that was, and even when I was hiring accountant, again I was looking at the top accountants. And secondly, if I'm looking for a normal workers, so we had a. I don't take very I mean, experienced people. I take them and make the training, give the training in our own training system, because our company has a different kind of culture here. So with the lean systems, nobody has, very few companies are using lean system. So I could not get the trained people from the market. So I have to have a training, and this is why I have to have a trainers also, training rooms. And so my hiring policy is technical people, and everywhere, this, on the floor also, in the counter also, in R&D also, technical staff, and at very reasonable qualifications.
Okay. One of the very important question and burning question nowadays is that the startups, we are talking about startups, business startups, 90% of the business startups fail in their first year. And those who survive even fail after 5 years. And very few business startups, emerge as a successful companies or organization. So, is there any particular reason of this failure? Would you like to point out any one, two, three points? What are the main causes of those failures, especially with reference to Pakistani industry? If you can share
Actually,
with us,
when you are you are a
because you have
startup.
been in as a president of one of the chamber. So, what is your experience in this regard?
Actually, when you are going to start some business, normally the people at that time, you have a very limited finances with you, and that you have to be very careful with
Yes,
this
please.
thing. And don't be too much, I mean, become, you you don't think that you will become overnight a very experienced person, a very experienced business person. You have to go slow, learn everything. Maybe you are producing some small articles and selling to some big companies in the beginning. Don't go too much, step by step, slowly, because the problem is 90% failure. In the beginning, you are not having big amounts with you, and if somewhere you just stuck up and the money is gone, and then whole your ideas or all your themes and your dreams are gone, washed away very quickly. So be careful, spend the money in a very wise way, and very start with a very small, and then because at that in this way, or maybe I can say in the beginning you don't start manufacturing, maybe only trading. So in trading is more safer than manufacturing in the beginning. So you just start with a small trading things, buy and sell, and then you start producing some of the articles which you have known very well, and then of course from there you can build up slowly. Don't go fast. So put first gear and then the second, not at the top. This is the problem with the young people. They want to do overnight everything, and then everything is lost in the beginning. This is so advice is, first of all, you have to learn the product in basically, even you're trading, you must know the product which you are dealing with. Don't go for everything, and start with the very small things, maybe one or two articles, buying from somebody, selling to somebody, making public relations, making the people to get the confidence on you, and then from there you can add up one article, two article, three articles. Go slow, and then of course if you reach some point, then you can enter into the manufacturing area also, because manufacturing area is more difficult, much more difficult than trading. You have to be very careful.
Acha, very good. Thank you very much, Khawaja Sahab. Khawaja Sahab, I've been working for the last 10 years in commercial section, assisting the business community of the both the countries in their trade, basically primarily in their trade. When we talk about trades, import and exports. Uh, and also, I'm also organizing different training session. I have conducted different training sessions, especially I got the point from your answer on the international trade. So I've been pointing out that pick a product and start the trading side, as you have discussed, shared buying and selling, or maybe buying from outside, importing the product and selling here in Pakistan, or vice versa. That is the that I am also propagating for the last almost 5 years now, and but the problem is that we find very challenging that the educated people who are looking for the better career opportunities, and the professional people even, they don't take risk. They are not ready to take risk because uh, product knowledge is mandatory. Even if you are
Yes.
trading, if you are buying or selling, you must have this product knowledge. And for the product knowledge, you should invest the time. You
Hmm.
have to go physically to see the things from the
Yes.
start, from the raw material to the finished product. So all the
Yes.
process and everything requires a great deal of time.
Hmm.
What could you advise to the people that how they should go about it? What could be the best ideal strategy in this regard for the people who want to start international trade, who want to start this buying and selling, but find it very challenging to investigate in the product?
The problem is, they just hear something. Okay, this product is selling very well, without getting the best knowledge of the product. And they just jump in and they buy, and then they try to sell it, and then they are squeezed up somewhere. Uh, just for example, in this COVID-19 period, I mean, few months back, everybody's in the beginning, everybody wants to have a mask, so people start importing the mask, and then the masks are being produced in Pakistan, and it was so fast that some people actually imported very big quantities. Now, by grace of God, Pakistan, this situation is much much better, and people are sitting on the stocks. Even not on them only the mask, but some many other articles. They didn't have studied the market very well, and thus they see the opportunity and they just jump in there. And even they bought the machines to produce N95 masks, and now the machines are just lying vacant. So this is the because without the knowledge of the market and without the knowledge of the product, the people are stuck up. So this was one of example. Without going doing the right knowledge of the market at that point. Of course, it was a very small window. In the beginning, the people who got the mask and some other things for which was needed in COVID-19, they got a good money, but it went down very quickly, and the people has sitting on the stock. So this is how this is the same for other articles, that you have to have a big knowledge of the market, and also the basic what you are selling. You must have the knowledge of the product. But getting the knowledge of the product is not so difficult. You have to visit certain factories, talk to the people, get the knowledge. Of course, when you are buying, you are most welcome in the factories, no problem. So get the knowledge and then go slow, one article then other article. Don't go for just, I can say, in like COVID-19, if you are good doing mask and then you are having a scanners everywhere, then you have to buy everything there, and then you are sitting on lot of things. This is the way is one by one. Get the knowledge of the product, see the market clearly, and go with a very cautious way. You said the people are not ready to take the risk. Actually, yeah, they are taking risk, because without they are going to want to sell the product without knowing the product, and that is the big risk, as I can understand. So they have to study it and study the market, and then they enter. Actually, they they want to go into the market, and they say, because X person is selling very well, I can do the same. And because X person has already market knowledge, and they know the people, and then you don't know too many people. This is why you can become a failure. So the product knowledge, market knowledge, and also the connections, all things. Then you go and adding these things. Then of course there should be no failure.
Okay. Khawaja, awaiting the opportunity of your time, and I have many people, I know many people who are asking me all the time because I also deal with the counseling business people. So they want to start international trade. They want to export. Let's say they want to export a certain product, and they know they have the supplies, and to some extent they have the knowledge. But the problem is that the financing is, you can say, is a bottleneck. So, what
Hmm.
you will advise in this regard, for example, is if a manufacturer is sitting in Sialkot or Gujranwala or any country manufacturing hub, and the person who is sitting in, let's say, in different cities or maybe in the same city, and because we know these models and people are working on these models, it's not a novel thing, it's not a new thing. How you advise about the financing, handling the finance, because the buyers in the international market will always go for credits. I don't know, 30 days credit, 60 days credit, and 90 days. But the person who is starting his trade, international business, so like, what could be the strategy? Should he or she be collaborating with the manufacturer in this regard, or because this is amount, a heavy amount is involved in this kind of shipments, and
Actually, the
so.
best thing is you should have some investor with you. I mean, the partnership with some people who has is the money. because in the beginning the bank is not going to help you. This is very difficult to get the money from the bank in the beginning. So the best thing is, instead of going alone, you have to have somebody with you which who have a good amount of, on the money with him. Secondly, I don't recommend in the beginning that you should sell on the credit, because if the credit for certain reason they are not paying, then you are on the road actually. So the best thing is you have to have a LC or cash against document, something like that, CAD or TT terms. I don't recommend in, because in the beginning you don't know the customer very well, and don't enter into the trap. So that this is also one of the reason of the failure. The people want, okay, 30 days credit or 90 days credit or even 120 days credit, and some people don't pay because they say, okay, your product has this little problem, and then I cannot pay, or you have to discount me like 40%, 30%, then the money is washed away. So you have to be careful in credit in the beginning. Best thing is don't give credit. And the money, of course, the best thing, you get some partner from our own, your on his family or somewhere, some friends. That will be the good idea, because bank in the beginning is difficult.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. We have another question from Tipu Sultan. He is saying that, did you think at any stage to give up? So we know that,
uh,
yeah.
at the moment, I don't think so that I have to give up, because my second generation is taking over now. I'm now old, and my at the moment still I am the uh, number one in not in Pakistan but in football. I'm the biggest producer in football in the world. So why should I give up now? I should be taking other articles with me. Of course, football and bags I'm doing, and I am looking towards shoes and some garments like that. So I will be adding up, not giving up.
No, no, I think he was pointing out about initial days. At initial days, when we start any business, any venture, we
Uh huh.
face a lot of problems. Initial
Yeah.
days are quite tough, challenging. Winds are quite high.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, he was, I think, I assume that he must be pointing out at these times. Any point of time in your life, 20 years back, you thought about giving up everything, facing any losses, after facing some losses, sudden losses,
Actually,
I think.
this, of course, the low time was, some bumpy time was there. Of course, this is losses were also there. Some other challenges were also there. But my basic uh, thing was that, my basic belief was that if you have a business, and the business you are losing, and this is the business will give you also the next step, I mean, sometime you lose it, and sometime, because sometime of course you lose too much also, and it's fear come yet you can go bankrupt or something like that. But you have to see what's the problem. You have to adjust the problem, because you lose in the business and you achieve in the business also. So if you give away, so everything is going to the scratch, I mean, on the train. So business is, you have to stay into the business, find the problems, adjust the problems, and then just go on walking. Don't stop. If you stop, everything is gone, and then the whole of your life you will not go back to that kind of business, because a lot is lost, too much is lost. So you have to uh, uh, get profits, or get positive businesses where you have lost, you have to adjust that things. The problem is you have to see the problem exactly and then adjust these problems and don't give up. I don't say giving up is a good thing.
Okay. Faisal, yes, I want to ask one thing, one question to you, very important question. And we know different cities of Pakistan, for example, Karachi, Lahore, and to some extent Islamabad, Rawalpindi, uh, and the mega companies across the countries, uh, they have corporate culture. But unfortunately, this is my personal experience as well, and you might agree with me as well. In the smaller cities, obviously, there are inherent limitations as well. The corporate
Hmm.
culture is not um, really, we don't find the corporate culture there. Professional, apart from few setups, as you mentioned, we're not talking about particularly your company. I mean, I have personally gone visited your company, and you shared. Obviously, it could not happen. These things could not happen if you're not professional, if you don't deal professionally. So across the board, in other companies where corporate culture is not there to this extent, what you advise to them, because when you talk to the CEO of these companies, business people of these companies, to acquire professionals, to go for the training and development of your employees. Even, for example, I spoke on the different forums, and I asked them to go for the training of your employees working there. But they always they have kind of response in them that they don't need these kind of trainings and these kind of changes, because I don't think that they might be thinking of the cost factor or whatever. They don't see these things really valuable. What is your take on this?
Actually, the problem in the, especially in Sialkot or the similar cities, smaller cities, the businesses are also very small there. The company owners, they are also like he is a production manager, or he's also the owner. He's producing the things, and when he is producing something, he is very technically he thinks very strong, and he don't want to share his capabilities or his specialties to somebody else. And in the corporate culture, you have to depend somebody. You have to show everything and also hand over a lot of things. For example, finances is very difficult to have a good finance manager and give him his checkbook to him. That is quite difficult for the beginning. But without, I mean, the change is coming now. The second generation who got the qualification, got education abroad from UK or USA, they know the corporate culture. So it has to come like this, but it is slow. And the people who has a grip on his factory, they can even they don't want to share with their family members. But if we have to grow in a big way without corporate culture, it's not possible. I think that time will come there. Especially, I am very positive with the next generation who got the education from abroad, especially abroad. So they know without corporate culture, you cannot grow faster. So you will be moving in just in a like a whirlpool, and I mean where you were like 20 years back, only some percentage just going up or down. So you are just stuck up there. Without that, it's not possible. So it will take some time to understand these things, and because they see companies which having corporate culture growing up, so they will do the same. You can see the example of Style Textile in Lahore. They went very fast, and they had a very strong corporate culture. Masood Textile, so many people. So you have to do it, otherwise you will be remain at a very small level all the time.
Okay. In this, initially I've discussed that this session is basically oriented for the startups. We also have to look for to explore the possibilities for the young educated people who want to have a better career in, especially in business and trade. So, what one, two, three tips you want to give to them for a business graduate who has just graduated and then after the pandemic situation, things are even worse. What you advise to them? Uh, or either they should opt the business or trade, or what one, two, three things that you want to advise to them that they should do? Um,
Uh, yes, actually, after pandemic situation is also things are becoming worse, bad to worse, and this is the people who were just graduated as some little money with them also. It's very risky thing, so they have to uh, I can say they have to get the knowledge first of the product and also get some experience from what is this, you have experience of managing production.
uh,
You can give us some tips of the production management. So I have to
Sorry, this
answer
is
this question.
no, no. This is just I just no, no.
No,
Carry
no, it's
on,
okay. No. So I mean,
carry on.
this the person at this point, it's risky, so they have to, best thing is they, if they could go to some company and get some knowledge, to get some job, and knowledge of the product, knowledge of the business, or to deal with these things. Or don't go straight and open some businesses. And of course, as we discussed before, first start with a small trading company, or trading some products, because then you are not producing anything, you are just buying and selling. But buying and selling also be have to be careful. Sometimes you are buying something and there is no market or very little market left, so have to get some orders first, and then you are looking to buy something for them. Then the, the first is the product knowledge, and then of course is your connections, the people who can really uh, think that you are the person who can help them. So that is very much important. Secondly, as I told before, that you have to spend your money very wisely. As if you are trading, the best thing is you just get the money from the people to whom you are selling. Don't give credits. If you give credits in the beginning, your money can be washed away very easily, because the people will think this is a new person. I have to take advantage of him. So don't do that. You have to sell on a, like a cross check, or I mean, you have to have a guaranteed money with you. Don't uh, give somebody, okay, I will return you after 60 days or 90 days. Sometimes the 60 days doesn't come. So we have to be
Hmm.
careful. Product knowledge, as I told you, basic thing is the product knowledge. And the biggest thing is the knowledge of the market. Which market, how is performing, who are the people. The knowledge of the market means who are the people, who are the companies who are trustworthy. You can go and you can trust them. Who are the people who are not trustworthy. I mean, this is also very important. And also, don't give too much credits. This is very dangerous in the beginning. Only if you had a very high, there is some very high reputed company, only then you can do it. But very, very careful. And second, lastly, you go step by step, as I told you before. Don't go with very ambitious plans, and don't jump into the big way. Go slowly, and then, of course, everybody who started, even Mansha has been the same. They have started very small, and the Mansha first company was was very near bankruptcy when he took that company, is a weaving company. So then he turned into the very good earning company. So everybody has the challenges. You so have to be careful.
Okay, sir, we are coming to the conclusion of the session. Just last two, three questions. Very important question. What is your take? What you want, as per your experience? Uh, a person who don't have any money. For example, a graduate, money means you don't have any finance. As you have
Mm.
rightly pointed out earlier in your one of the question that you can arrange financer. But what if a person don't have any arrangement of finance even? What could be? I assume that there must be a way as well. What could be the strategy if still he want to enter, he or she want to enter in trade? And I know different graduates and professionals even, they have a great intellectual mind, but due to these barriers which they also put, and the other barriers which they impose on themselves, and they don't enter and they don't take risks. So uh, a person who don't have any money, take for example, is there any way that he can start his business or no?
Surely he can do that. I can say surely he can do that, because money is one thing, you know. The second thing is the knowledge of the uh, knowledge of the certain, I can say, the area of the people, or the knowledge of the market. So for me, knowledge of the market is more important than the money, you know. And then the connections. If he has some relatives there, or some friends there, or some the people who knows him, so he can just buy something, and they can get that product on credit. The people can give him the credit and sell to the people who can give him the cash. I mean, this is possible. Without money also can do, but he has to work hard. And they have to go to certain people, and then they can buy with the credit, and then sell on the cash. This is the way he can do it, but this is possible.
Yes, I'm also for the last few years I'm propagating this thing that this is possible. You can enter international trade without any investment, without any money,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
you corroborated this point. Uh, so viewers on availing the opportunity. So my point is validated by the experienced personnel who is the leading exporter not only in Pakistan but in the whole world. So we are proud of you, Khwaja Masood Saab. And now let's move to the person who is in the mid of the career. What is your experience that person who is stable in his job and still he has this quest and he wanted to start his own business, and for the last few years he is thinking on this, but is the transition is possible from the employment to simultaneously business, or he has to plunge directly into the business? Is the strategy works that he can simultaneously uh, I know we know that conflict of interest if he justifies his time there at the job as well. But is this possible that easily transition is possible in your as per your experience
It's very difficult. It's
from
very, because the
employment to
mindset.
becoming employee?
Because mindset is different. My mindset is different. If you are doing some job, especially if you are a bureaucrat, you know, it's very difficult. And I can recommend this. If such person want to do it, he has to get some partner, you know. The person who is already in the business, is a successful business or small business, put the money with him, and then go along with that. And because this business area is quite different than the person who is in the government job, or is in the bureaucratic area. That is like a 180-degree different, and that will be uh, can be a disaster. So he has to take some good partner who is already doing the business, and he has the money, so he can go invest with him, and then slowly he could start learning the ways how the business grows and how because business attitude is very very different than the bureaucratic attitude. Oh, completely opposite. You have to be very patient, you have to be very I can say like down to the earth when you are talking, and it's a complete different word, so have to be very careful. Don't think that I can be very I was very good, for example deputy commissioner, and I can run a football factory. This is the two different ball games. It is difficult. Very few people can get a success on that.
Okay. Well, Khawaja, we used to listen different success habits from the successful people. We read many books. We watch different videos. We want to listen from you. What is your, if you put in one or two sentence, what is your success habit?
My success habit is first is research and development, R&D. So I am very passionate of research and development. Research and development doesn't mean only on the product. Research and development is all from end to end, even how you are buying your raw materials, for example.
Mm.
How then you have to research when you are buying, from where should I buy, which market should I buy. That is also research. Also when you are buying, I mean, uh, in the production lines and production methods, so we have to research there. So what I say that you have to go do R&D from right from the beginning uh, until the finish, from starting from the selling and sorry, starting from the buying and then selling until you receive the money. So everything, every step is comes under research, and that is a different kind of researches, of course. And then from research you develop, from research you develop, and research you develop, and then you see the area that you are. And because this research never stops, you cannot say I'm done here. So everywhere, in every segment, the world is moving, and each segment is nowadays is improving, giving you new ideas. So you have to pick the ideas, and then you have to implement in your system. This is the this is my I can say the one sentence success story.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. Lastly, I want to ask you: are you early riser? I know personally, but for the viewers, just to inspire them, are you early riser?
I am very much early riser. Get up like 3:30 in the evening morning. Yeah, very very much early.
Okay, very good. So it is also one of the success habit. Thank you very much, Khwaja Masood Saab. We took almost 1 hour of yours, and really, uh, we learned a lot. I asked very uh, specific questions because availing the opportunity and availing the all the experience that I also have dealing with the business communities. And there are a lot of viewers with us and who put their questions, and you answered quite beautifully their questions as well. So we have another question. What is the good market for Pakistani businessmen? So I think it's not a very challenging question. It's a very simple question. But if you want to comment on this, what is a good market for Pakistani businessmen? So any
Actually, this
specific area?
Actually, the good market for Pakistan is, of course, our style is we find relatively easy to sell in Europe and USA. But I think this not the challenging market is the way Istanbul, because this has become new hubs of if I mean, a lot of trading is being done there. Lot of trading is being done there, and the people are coming all over the world from onto the markets. So even I have a marketing company in Dubai, and we are doing quite well there. So, but you have to be very I mean, we have to be very careful because the business is very fast there, and the business environment is all trading environment in Dubai or in Istanbul, and some especially in African countries also becoming faster and faster. But I have no experience there, but I can recommend you uh, that, of course, after Europe and USA, the best thing if you can compete in with your competitors in Dubai, because the China is sitting there, India is sitting there, everybody is there, and you have to be, I can say, face to face competing them. Then that will be the fantastic way to do it. I think if I can do it, everybody can do it. It's no problem.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Khawaja Masood Akhtar Saab. And lastly, I will leave you with these words and summarizing everything that we have discussed during the session. That anything is possible when it, a very famous quote goes, when there is will, there are so many ways. So even if
Exactly.
you don't have any finance, you can start your own international trading business. That I propagate, and now this thing has been validated by the experienced person. So, for the youngsters who want to start their own international trade business, or the people who want to shift from the employment to employer stage, it is very easy for them. Not easy for them, but it's quite possible. When we say possible, then obviously risk and rewards go together. Uh, there are a lot of things we have discussed, prospects of international trade and opportunities for the youngsters. And we also learned from Khawaja Masood Akhtar his own experience, his uh, how he practiced uh, you know, the corporate culture in his own organization, and how he's propagating his corporate culture and experience in other organizations of the country as well. So, with these words, thank you very much, Khwaja Masood Akhtar Saab, for being with us, and with our you have shared experience with our professionals, with our viewers and viewers. Thank you very much. With this, I'm signing off. This was Muhammad Yasin live with you on my YouTube channel, and thanks for watching this whole show. Thank you very much, Khwaja Saab.
Thank, thank you very much. Most welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.